What is up, everyone? Jack back, and this time I'm doing a review. I don't think I've done one. No, this is my first review. It's my first time doing a review for anything, and this time it's going to be for a Toro TERP SLURPER. I'm pretty sure you know exactly what that is, but if you're not familiar, this is it. This is what everyone goes bananas for. This is the TERP SLURPER, made by Toro, and let's review it. So everyone has been posting these pretty crazily and non-stop for the past year or so. And they're also really hard to find or they're really hard to get a hold of for some reason. Toro likes to keep a low stock of them, I guess, because every time they go in their shop or whatever, they just sell out instantly. And so that kind of drove this like insane little frenzy about them, because they're cool as shit, but no one could, the demand was not being met. So everyone was paying like $1,000, still to this day, like $1,000 for like a resale one. And they're cost like $450 new, I think. I don't know, I think $450. And so people are paying $1,000 for them brand new again, resale, so they kind of drove the coolness of them up even, because it was a cool banger to begin with, doing big dabs and shit, and then you can't even get your hands on it. And there's other options too. Hopefully I'll look some up. Hopefully they'll be like in the description or some shit, or you can just get like a China one, but the Toro one is jazz, because I got a China one. So here's the two. If you can't spell the difference right away, this is the China one, this is the Toro TERP SLURPER. Not too different. The main thing is the dishes. That plays a big part in how it's gonna work. And this little barrel thing looks bigger. Not barrel, the top thing. But anyways, there's a China one, and there's a Chinatown, and then here's a American Toro. Not too many differences in those. So if you're like dying to get one, just get a China one, and hopefully you get a cool diameter, because those ones are funky. They're not always the same. Alright, now we talked about the hype around them or whatever. Get into the pros and the cons of the TERP SLURPER. Alright, number one thing about it that I love, and I'm sure that everyone would, this is like a dead giveaway, you get a big ass dab. Like if you have like a 0.2 normally off like a Quave nail, it's cool. You get high as shit. But until you try a TERP SLURPER dab, like a 0.2, it fucking destroys the dab. Like you thought you were getting it all with like a spinner cap. TERP SLURPER is amazing for that. And also I've seen people do like smaller dabs too on it. I haven't quite figured out the temperature yet to figure out the smaller ones. The first pro is big huge dabs, awesome, you get high as fuck. And me, I have a high tolerance, so this is perfect. Perfect banger if you like getting stoned. And the other pro, number two, is it's aesthetically pleasing. What I mean by that is like it's artistically looking, it looks like it's pretty. It's like a visually pleasing looking thing. And that goes a long way with like an artistic bong or a piece. Like so if you have like this like whatever multi-$1,000 bong, or even just oh whatever the hell you have. If you have this artistic bong that like looks cool, like a nice shape, that banger, it just gives like a nice elegant little look to it. It's different. It's like a piece of its own, really. So pro number two, aesthetic. Pro number three is gonna be, it adds to the aesthetics pretty much, is you can add like insert like banger sets for it, like marbles. I'll throw in some like a video right now, the set that I made. But you can throw in different internals for it, and that creates a different hit. And I'm gonna show a little bit forward in the video. I'm gonna show you all the different sets and how they work, and tell you what one's my favorite. And going back on like the artistic part about it, the sets you have, you can get one that matches your bong. So I'll even try to find a picture on Instagram, pull it up. So you can get like this, hopefully I have a picture up. You can get this set and it matches your piece. So then like all this shit ties in together, and it just looks more, gives you a better dab experience honestly, because you got all this art shit in front of you. So while you're high as hell, if you're just chilling, you get the kind of enjoy it all. That's pretty much all I could say about that part is, yeah, you just like add more art to it by putting marbles and whatnot all over it, or inside of it. So that's that's pro number 3. And for tip number 4, it's a super airy banger. So it provides like a really unique hit, like a really, it's kind of like how you're hitting a bong without a banger inside of it. So the pool is always super light no matter what. Like some bangers are kind of restricted, but this one, it seems the pool really, the past like 3 pieces I've used so far, the pool's super nice. I'll do a test of like a dry or without a banger, and then one with the TERP SLURPER. So those are the 3 different pools, and I even threw like a quave banger in there. You can test that one. Actually, I just got a new quave. It's actually pretty airy. Usually they're more restricted, but I got it without, with a quave. But yeah, so it gives you a really unique hit. And going back to like the internal part about it, you can add like a pillar or like 3 marbles or some shit, and they all give you a different pool. And you can even put like a medium-sized marble in the middle, like a blocker, and that gives you a different pool. So it's like you're getting, I don't know, you get more out of the banger. It goes like a longer mile. So you can get the cool internals that look aesthetically pleasing to your eye, and you get different hits out of all your pieces, which is fucking awesome. Because if you have one bong that you spend like thousands of dollars on, the fact that you can get like better, different hits out of it, worth it. And that's pretty much it for that's pretty much it for the pros. For all I can think of. Let's go to the cons list. I know everyone's waiting for this one. So, the con is, right away, it's heavy. It's great, like it's not a big issue for most pieces, but a lot of the times, or a lot of pieces, it's too heavy, so it'll, alright. So you see how this thing, how it sits out? See how this arm part sits out so far? That also makes it heavier, like tippier. And that big ass bucket's heavy. And you gotta think about it too because you're about to put a marble on top of it, like the cap. And then those internals, you're adding more weight. So you wanna think, don't buy it for a mini piece, I guess, unless it's super stable. But that's definitely a con, is it's heavy. Another, number 2 for the con is con 1. Use a shit ton of, every time that you use the nail, you gotta take out, I'll put a video of how to clean it too, somewhere in here, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. But every time you clean it, you gotta dunk it into ISO, and that, no, you use a lot of ISO. So you get probably like 10 to 20 dabs maybe before you gotta exchange the ISO thing. So you use a decent amount of isopropyl. But if you have, just stock up, so pretty much just be ready to use a lot. And also, if you don't know where ISO is, a lot of times, you just go to Ace Hardware's the plug, and you get that big stupid jug, but it's fucking perfect, and you always have, it's always on deck. So Ace Hardware for ISO. But that's definitely a con, but that's con number 2, use a lot of ISO. And then con number 3, which I talked about a little bit in the beginning, it's fucking pricey. It's $450, I wanna say, I don't even know, it could be like underneath, but I'm pretty sure it's $450. That's crazy for a banger, for someone who's not into like artsy shit like that, which maybe that means it's not for, I don't know, maybe that means that it's just meant for people who are in the artsy dabs. But anyways, that shit's $450, and that's a pain in the ass to cough up. You gotta worry about chazzing it and breaking the goddamn things. Every time you clean it, you gotta, oh, this is all extra con, I didn't even think about it. Every time you clean it, this is how I can see someone breaking it. You gotta take it out, dunk it. I can definitely see someone just holding it in their fingers and just dropping it on accident, just being ripped, or someone who doesn't know how to handle it, or they're like kind of sketched out. Or if you're fucking hammered, definitely would break that thing. Just kind of dipping and dabbing and dunking it. So yeah, they're hard as fuck to get, pricey. And I don't get the whole demand thing. Why don't they just make a bazillion of them? They know everyone wants them, but there's definitely a demand for them, but it's not being met. So they're fucking hard to get. Yeah, they're hard. Oh, and then another con, I just thought about this too, is you need, because I just figured this out, this timer bullshit does not fly. Like this timer bullshit does not fly. Like every time that I try to do this timer, and even if I use the temp tech gun, it'll get the right temp, and if I look at the timer, I'm like, alright, so 140, I could take the dab. Doesn't work, I don't know why, it just doesn't. So get yourself like a little temp reading thing. This one's from Status Prints. We're actually gonna give this one away pretty soon in a giveaway. I just gotta make a piece for it, but you definitely want a temp gun to do all that bullshit, because you'll just either chaz it or you won't get the good enough like hit. Because I like dabbing large, so I want to make sure it's the right fucking temperature. But that's definitely a con, is the temp. So you gotta get your ass a temp gun. And I would say get a dab right for a temp reader, because they're stationary and you can put it to any size piece. Your boy is gonna cop a dab right soon because I'm lazy and I just want to put the thing right up to it. And honestly, I heard the battery lasts a long time too on those dab rights. Pretty cool. I can't think of anything more. I've only had it for 3 days now, I think 3 or 4. I'm not too far into like the best knowledge on them, but just in like my experience on owning it. And also I picked up at Tea Leaf Gallery in Tallahassee. Awesome people. The fact that it was in the store was amazing. Yeah, I'm not experienced with the nail of the banger. And this is like the pros and cons that I could think of for the couple days I've had it. So let me know what you think about them, because I got a lot of mixed feedback whenever I posted that I got it. A lot of people were like, yeah, it's awesome. A bunch of people were like, fuck those, too expensive, stupid, waste tabs. A lot of people complain about the cleaning. So like I said, I'm gonna have a video right after this little, like 30 seconds, on how to clean it. And I'm also gonna show you all the different internals and how they work. And I even took 2 dabs of my favorite internal combination. Let's get to the dabs and internal part of the video.